This is the best schedule ever. This is the worst schedule ever. This is the best show ever, damn it. Welcome in to the CHGO Bears Podcast with my handy-dandy friend Nicholas Moreano. Today, Braggs is off talking about must-wins. Hogue dominated last night. We're thinking about our Hoger up in Minneapolis as he deals with family stuff. And we are here to celebrate, to look forward, to vision, to believe in the 2024 Chicago Bears. Nick, good to see you in person after last night's extravaganza. How you feeling after digesting everything?
I'm feeling pretty good about the Bears' schedule, how it shapes up, and I know we'll go through some different scenarios and how this could be the best or worst. I'm curious, Mark, you were slightly late to your tennis match yesterday. Did you make it? Like, what ended up happening there?
Yeah, so we were supposed to start the show last night at 7, and then, you know, the NFL just had to mess with us and move the Cardinals game and the Niners game, so we had to switch everything around. Steven doing insane work to make us look good in front of the old screen here. So we got on at 7:15, and then, of course, there was a zillion things to say. So I was hoping we'd be done at 8:15. We were done at 8:30. The match was at 8:30. It was a 20-minute journey over there.
Oh, boy.
I'd like to apologize to the people that I did pass on the road and the maneuvers that I made to get there in 15 minutes. It was a little bit aggressive, I'll admit to that. But it was a friendly opponent who didn't really mind that I was late seemingly, and then I was up 4-2 in the first set and didn't win two more games. They won one more, 6-4, 6-1 loser. But nobody cares about that. I probably just had my mind on the
schedule,
on the schedule. That's my excuse. You know, one thing we didn't do last night, which we apologize for, is really dive deep into what matters. And what matters, failing to prepare is preparing to fail. And the way to prepare in life is to go through the preseason with a vengeance. And we didn't talk about the preseason last night. Hall of Fame game with the Texans. Will Caleb play? Will CJ play? We don't know. Seeing the Texans, of course, again in week 2. Get to play the Bills. There's a guy by the name of Josh Allen in that game. Get to play the Bengals at home in the middle of family camp. I think I just booked flights to come home for that show and game, which we'll talk about that later, Hogue. But Joe Burrow, I see you. And then what is that Patrick Mahomes? Is he playing on August 22nd? I'm going to assume he's not. But you've got Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, and Stroud. What's up?
Wow, I mean, that's a gauntlet of quarterbacks, but too bad it is the preseason, because if that was...
Not too bad.
No, if that was the regular season, those would all be primetime games. I mean... Yeah,
but no.
You want to see those matchups. Everyone wants to see Caleb Williams against them at some point. But no, it is... I guess for those preseason games, I don't know if we're really going to see any of those quarterbacks at any point.
All right, let's just have a brief conversation about primetime games, if I may. Mm-hmm. There's 17 football games on the way to 18, probably on the way to 20. Let's go to 30. Let's have quarterbacks make $8 billion per season. Whatever. Okay. The point is that every game is must-watch TV, is it not?
It is, yes.
So do you care? Does your viewing change at all if the game is at noon or if it's on Sunday Night Football?
There is a little bit more. There is a little bit more to Sunday Night Football. I will admit that. But, I mean, I was making the argument on last night's show that, hey, it's the Tennessee Titans. Who cares? Like, you're still going to be very excited for it. But there's like a mystique, the aura of Sunday Night Football, right? I think there's something to waiting all day, seeing all the games being played, and then when it's Sunday night, it's your team in the spotlight. Everybody's watching. So I think there is a little bit more to it.
All right. I mean, sure. But I honestly, like, my level of excitement for a noon game, like, I absolutely love the Bears' home schedule. Can anybody, Kevin Kadick, Jake Flanagan, the rest of the crew here, can you say tailgates? Tailgates? I mean, this is awesome. Every single one of them is at noon with the exception of the last game. Titans, noon. Rams on the 29th. Oh, it's going to be beautiful. October 6th, my brother's birthday. He can't wait to come to the tailgate for a celebration against the Carolina Panthers. That's going to be sweet. Then we're going to Jacksonville. That's, in
it's a little different,
the London thing doesn't matter. New England, noon, November 10th. Packers, noon, the 17th. It's still not that cold. 24th, perfect. Give me Minnesota right before Thanksgiving. This isn't, I mean, what a stretch of tailgates in November. Bears season ticket holders, you got to be loving this. And then you're on the road a lot late, and then the diehards come out. Hopefully it'll matter for the noon kick on the 22nd, and then the 26th, those tickets, that's where the value comes in. That's where the that's where you can get the $12 ticket to sit in the upper deck because it's freezing and they're playing the Seahawks and hopefully the game matters, but maybe it's a nothings burger. But I love the fact that we're playing at noon at home, man. I don't need no Sunday night at home. I love a noon kickoff at home.
No, I mean, I get you. I understand the want to have those types of games too, but I think when we were predicting the schedule for 2024, I think we all anticipated there'd be more primetime games for the Bears. I think we all at least had 5. Thinking the NFL is going to want Caleb Williams in prime time. But that wasn't the case.
Okay, but so the Jets are on 6 times, right? But all of their games are stacked early in the season because they're betting against the Jets. They're betting that people want to watch Aaron Rodgers when it matters, but it's not going to matter late. The Bears, on the other hand, they're basically betting on them. You're putting them in prime time on Monday, December 16th with the Vikings. You're putting them on prime time Thursday, December 26th. They are telling you that they think the Bears are going to be in it with that schedule. And, it's only 5, but playing on Turkey Day, that's a prime time situation right there with Detroit. And they said, Jacksonville, yes, sir, 8:30, but it's still, you're the only game that's being played at that time.
And also, too, with all the NFC North matchups starting from week 11 on, I mean, there's opportunities for flex, like those flex opportunities, especially with, I think, an NFC North that a lot of people are anticipating is going to be very competitive, too. So not only are you, like you're mentioning, Mark, with those primetime games being later, but you also have all these meaningful games that the Bears are probably going to be playing when it gets to mid-November, December, hopefully in January. So I think when you look at it at its totality, the Bears' schedule, they have an opportunity to start off hot, and then it's going to be really interesting to see how that team is playing down the stretch when it gets into November, those divisional games, those primetime matchups, and seeing if they can, punch a ticket to the playoffs, which they haven't done in a little bit.
Well, coming up in about 10 minutes on the show, I'm going to give you why this is the greatest schedule of all time, and then in about 13 minutes, I'm going to give you why this is the worst schedule of all time. I've been looking forward to doing this all day. Can we go back to the preseason, though, for a second?
Yeah.
All right. How many games and how many snaps? What are you doing with Caleb Williams? Tell me right now, Nick. Are you playing him against the Texans? How much is he playing against the Bills? How much is he playing against the Bengals? Does he play in the last game? What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, this is really interesting because, look, I can see a scenario where he doesn't even play in the Hall of Fame game, if that's what, Matt Eberflus decides to do. But I have a feeling that he maybe gets a series there, and it's going to be the third one against the Bengals that I think the Bears will actually have him play maybe like a drive. The other question I'm also thinking is, do they put all the starters in? Because we really didn't see all that much even from last year's preseason. If you're looking how Eberflus is kind of going about things, you saw the one drive, I think it was Justin Fields. It was actually versus the Tennessee Titans, where Justin Fields threw a pass to DJ Moore. That first pass went for a touchdown on a screenplay. And I don't think we saw really the starters much more than that series.
That actually is a vintage moment in Chicago Bears Justin Fields time, which, by the way, I've got something. I'm wearing my Fields QB slide shirt today, and I've got a little look at the Steelers schedule coming up here. Ooh. Ain't easy. There's a little teaser, but that was vintage. A nothing throw to the flat where DJ Moore walked in on touch.
62 yards. The thing that are, people are envisioning the season, what it could be. I mean, look, those two connected a lot last season. Let's not sugarcoat that, but obviously it did not turn out the way that I think a lot of people were envisioning right when that moment happened.
Yeah. So you want to see that with Caleb? You want to see all the screens? You want to? I want to see him play. I'll answer my own question. You're starting training camp on July 20th.
Mm-hmm.
He's got plenty of time to get up to speed that he could take some snaps to the Texans game. Let's go. Let's get him out there. At least one series. I'm okay with 2 or 3 series. Let's go. Let's play. No problem. I'd let him throw the football. He doesn't need to just, we don't need to just do the operation. Let's throw a couple balls around. Let's get it off the deck. And then from there, a quarter in the second preseason game, a half in the third preseason game.
And sit the fourth?
And, well, it depends where they're at.
That's true.
You're trying to make the playoffs, man. Trying to get him off the ground. You're starting him in week 1. He's making his way into the NFL. Let him play. You can't be. I'm not saying you put him in harm's way. Do your best to keep him out of it, obviously. But
it would
let
be
the dude
interesting.
play.
It would be interesting to see, and I don't know this offhand, kind of just how Bryce Young was handled last year. But knowing that Thomas Brown, who was on that staff last year, now with the Bears, if there's any, hey, this is what we kind of did. Not that they have to listen to him completely, but this is how we approached it, and we kind of saw how things worked out in Carolina. But I have a feeling when it comes to that 4th preseason game, knowing that Caleb Williams already had a head start on the playbook, things are hopefully going on schedule. He's growing with this offense that he probably won't even need to. Not that he doesn't need, but he won't play in preseason game number 4. That's just how I see it at this point in time. But we'll see how training camp goes and see how the whole process is going with that offense as they're all learning all these new pieces are around Caleb. But yeah, it's going to be fascinating how Matt Eberflus approaches this, because you don't want to be too you don't want to be too aggressive with it, but you also at the same time need to make sure that, hey, Caleb is getting those necessary reps in real live action.
So yeah. I actually just looked it up. Bryce Young played 3 series in his preseason opener last year.
Okay.
They also lost that game 27-0.
Yeah, sounds about right.
That's it. There was also they only played 3 preseason games.
That's
too.
right.
What Bears are playing 4, the Hall of Fame game being added in there.
So it's honestly it's the first big decision that Matt Eberflus is going to have to make here. Last year, if you go back into training camp, ton of injuries, dudes weren't playing. Yeah. How much did that impact the way they started the season horribly? You can't make any argument that it helped them. They were awful. It took them a while to get off the ground. So does he look at that as something they want to change? I'm not trying to be over the top or an idiot here, because if a guy is hurt, then
obviously,
then you're not going to play him, you're not going to practice him, all those things. However, if he's healthy, I don't see why you wouldn't, you're trying to get ready for the NFL season. The NFL is a very competitive league. Wouldn't you want your guys to get some experience playing together, getting it doesn't seem like a whole lot to debate here, but it always seems to be a huge debate.
Yeah, because I think again, it is that first important decision coming off of training camp. How are you approaching this? And are you giving guys, veteran, you're probably not going to see a Keenan Allen out there playing 13 years. That's fine. But Caleb, although he is a very talented number 1 overall pick, he is still a rookie. And you just have to see when, again, everything is in play. He can actually get hit at this point. Throughout the entirety of training camp, he's going in knowing that they can't touch me. I'm good to go. But once you get into those preseason games, this is live action. So there's obviously there's benefits and drawbacks to this.
And Fields got smoked in the Buffalo game, if memory serves. Was that
they did play Buffalo last year, but I don't think that was.
It was 2 years.
2 years ago, yeah. Fields threw 3 passes in preseason last year.
Yeah,
and one was that screen.
I think if memory serves, it was either the rookie or a second year. In one of those games, he got absolutely annihilated and
smacked.
Tough ass Justin. It didn't faze him, but it wasn't great to look at. So I get that there is risk. All right, couple of schedule quirks. I'm looking at you, Detroit. Here's the Lions. Okay, they open up at home with the Rams. So you're playing indoors.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa at home, indoors. At Arizona, indoors. Seattle at home, indoors. 4 games. Into their bye week early. week 5. I like teams that we're competing against having early bye weeks. At Dallas, dome. At Minnesota, dome. Tennessee at home, dome. Their first game outdoors is November the 3rd against the Packers. All right? And then after that, at Houston, dome. Home with Jacksonville, dome. At Indy, dome. Bears, Thanksgiving, dome. Home with Green Bay, dome. Home with Buffalo. Their second outdoor game all season long is against the Bears on December the 22nd.
That is absolutely insane. When you put that in here in our notes, I'm like, what? Three total games outdoors.
Yeah, the next week they're playing at San Francisco. I think that plays in the Bears' favor against them. You've been outside once all season long, and now it's December 22nd, and you're coming in.
But I mean, if you're also looking for the Lions to, start off hot and play in environments that they're used to, like that's also the caveat to this. Like they're going to be indoors for a majority of the 2024 season, and we have a Lions fan in our chat office going to throw for 5,000 yards this year. Dude, I mean, they have a lot of offensive weapons, and if they're indoors for 14 out of their 17 games, like,
they have a chance. Amon-Ra and Jared Goff and
Sam Laporta, like they got a lot.
Yeah, no, they're looking at that like, sweet.
Hell yeah.
I don't need to deal with no elements. We're going to run our offense. I'm going to do all that. But also, listen, I don't know. AstroTurf, the carpet's better nowadays. But, it's a lot of time on that turf, man. So it'll be interesting to see how the injuries pile up with Detroit, perhaps with that schedule as well. Nick, I know you've got something you want to tell us.
Yes, I do. I have to tell everybody about the benefits of Butcher Box. Well, first of all, you get peace of mind. Easily find high-quality meat and seafood you can trust. 100% grass-fed beef, free-range orange chicken, pork-raised crate-free with wild-caught seafood, humanely raised, no antibiotics or added hormones. And look, you get the ultimate convenience as well. It's delivered right to your doorstep. Free shipping, as always, and it's curated to customized box plans. So you can go on their website. If you want more chicken, want more beef, you can just fill out this very convenient guide to customize your boxes to the way you like it, and you get incredible value. A variety of high-quality cuts at an amazing value, exclusive member deals, and, recipe inspiration, guides, tips, hacks. Really, Butcher Box has it all, and look, again, that value, you really can't beat it. I got my Butcher Box 2 weeks ago, and I'm still going through some of the stuff in there. And
I've got one more ribeye ready to go in my fridge right now.
See?
I'm eating it tonight.
It lasts a while. It tastes great. And look, here's how you can take advantage of everything Butcher Box has to offer. Butcher Box is offering our listeners an amazing offer where new users get free meat plus $20 off your first box. Join today using our link, butcherbox.com/CHGO, and use the promo code CHGO to receive this exclusive offer today before time runs out.
After your belly is full, head on over to Whirly Ball and give it a whirl. Whirlyball.com/CHGO. I love Whirly Ball. It's a combination of basketball, lacrosse, hockey. You're flying around in the bumper cars. This is what I like to do. I like to take aim at one person and go as fast as I possibly can. Don't worry about what the ball's doing. Just try to crack somebody. I think it's good for your health. It's basically, they're saying it's the most fun that you have going 4 miles per hour. I think I want to say I got my card up to at least 5. I was going heavy, and
Greg brags.
I cracked the daylights out of my brother, and he turned around and looked at me like, I was like, okay, that was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. He wasn't expecting it. But it's a great, there's also it's a solid competition out there with the hand-eye coordination too, passing around trying to catch it. So it's a ton of fun. 3 locations for Whirly Ball. Their Bucktown location has 3 Whirly Ball courts, 12 bowling lanes, with lane-side service, by the way. So, have a cocktail, live the dream. There's a 2-story laser tag arena. There's private event spaces for you corporate people out there looking for something to do with your peeps. Paging you, Brandon Spano. $45,000 square feet of fun. It's awesome. 32 craft beer on taps, which is amazing there, too. We got the craft cocktails, upscale bar food. Food's delicious. I can vouch for that as well. Booking with Whirly Ball is easy. Just go to whirlyball.com/CHGO. Book yourself now. Purchase an hour of Whirly Ball. Get 30 minutes of bowling for free.
Oh, my goodness.
How sweet is that? You must book with a private event to redeem. Book now, whirlyball.com/CHGO. I love that Whirly Ball's on board here.
Boom.
Fits perfectly. All right. Nick.
Carm.
Must wins. There was this guy that we do the show with. I believe his name rhymes with egg and his last name goes with lags. Who seems to think that the Tennessee Titans is a must-win in Week 1.
Who could you be talking about?
Which is, I mean, he's not here to defend himself, but he is doing it all over Twitter. It's one of the worst takes I've ever heard in my life that you have to win Week 1. What is the season over? We lose Week 1. It's the must-win. They lost. Oh no, it's over. 0-1. I mean, come on. But it is schedule release weekday, so. Let's look and try to find some must-wins. Anything stand out for you?
Yeah, as I was looking through the 2024 schedule, I look at that Commanders game coming off of the Bears bye week and just doing a little bit of research into, well, how have the Bears done after their bye week? Well, in the last decade, they're 1-9, with their first win coming last year when the Bears went and hosted the Detroit Lions and got a victory. So, for the most part, the Bears have not been able to, one, take advantage of this bye week, prepare for that next opponent, and then get a victory. Again, Matt Eberflus is 1-1. They played a very competitive game against the Philadelphia Eagles in his first season as the Bears head coach, and then ultimately get a win last season against the Lions. But, look, you're going on the road to Washington. You have Jaden Daniels versus Caleb Williams. I think it's going to be a pretty good matchup. But just seeing how the Bears can take advantage of that bye week after playing the London game against the Jaguars. That's going to be a big-time matchup. And I think it is a must-win to see how this Bears team can just, one, take advantage of that extra time to rest, but also utilize it in a beneficial way to get themselves a victory over a rookie quarterback. So 1-9 in the last decade. They need to start improving that record after bye week. So I'm looking at that matchup against Commanders as a must-win.
Total Anarchy TV. Carm, if you want to get to the playoffs, you need to win at home versus teams you should be better than. So if you want 10 wins, you can't lose this game. Total Anarchy. You telling me they can't win 10 games if they lose to the Titans? Are we really saying that? I mean, I want to push back on you too. Must win the Commanders. It's a great game to win. It's a great game to. I mean, if Jaden Daniels goes nuts.
And Caleb doesn't.
Oof. That won't feel good. No. That'll be a rough show to do after that. Did the Bears not evaluate Jaden enough?
I'm not ready.
I don't think Caleb loses it in his hometown.
That too. Yeah.
Hey, I'm not saying I don't think they're losing that game either.
Bring it.
But it's a road game. It's
coming off the bye week.
But yes, no, that's fair. I kind of kept this one easy for myself. You can't. You got to win one game each against the Packers, the Lions, and the Vikings, period. You can't be getting swept by anybody in the division. They got to get one. They need to put the Green Bay thing behind them. If there's one actual game on the schedule, you have to beat the Packers. Like, come on. It's been way too long. Nobody can take it anymore. Kevin Kaduk is not going to be able to come into work that whole week if they don't beat the Packers. It's got to happen. But I actually looked at it. You cannot lose. Speaking of winnable games at home, to your point, Total Anarchy and others, I just don't think you can't lose the Patriots game. It's too late in the season. You're starting a stretch of home games there. You got the division games coming up. Green Bay the next week. You cannot go into the Packer game and the Viking game week 11 and week 12 off a loss to the Patriots. That would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
New England sucks. Or at least they should suck. I'm not expecting Drake May to be the savior there and or Jacoby Brissett. The Patriots game in Week 10, if I'm pointing to one game on the schedule that you got to have it. there's no way you can lose that game.
It's one of those, when you look at this schedule, where do you feel best about the Bears getting victories? Yeah, I feel like, maybe 90% of Bears fans are looking at that matchup against the Patriots thinking, the Bears have a better roster. I know it's a rookie quarterback matchup, but the Bears need to get, again, a victory before going into divisional play. Like that is a one where you look at it, yeah, the Bears need to handle their business, but, they do need to start beating the Packers, you guys. Like, the last time was 2018, which is crazy to really think about. The last time the Bears beat the Packers, 2018, was also the last time the Bears clinched the NFC North. We're in the playoffs. Or, well, I guess that 2019 season kind of counts. But it's just way too long. Like, the Bears need to start at least splitting victories with the NFC North. They did a better job last year, getting a victory over Minnesota and Detroit, but
Nick,
still can't beat.
How old were you in 2018?
That is a great question. How old am I now? I'm 29. So, yeah.
You were barely able to drink then, huh?
Yeah, legally. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
But it was party time, man. They were taking down Green Bay. We were going to the playoffs.
Fun times.
Double ass doink, man. But it's been way too long. The Green Bay thing. It's not even, forget about the even too long thing. It's just like, period. Where are we at here? Can we beat Jordan Love?
Yeah, it's a new quarterback now, and it's still the same issues. Like, that's what's also, I think, even more frustrating to Bears fans. Like, the changing of the guard from Rodgers to Love, same results at the end of 4 quarters.
Give him his due, though.
Yeah,
the guy can play, and he's going to get paid an enormous amount of money. That's going to be a story a ton this year, but when will and what the number's going to be for Jordan Love. Okay, we're going to take a deep breath here. And I've heard a lot of vitriol.
Ooh.
People were texting me today. This morning, I woke up. How come Adam Hogue hates the schedule so much? Like, fairly prominent people. We're keyed into the Hogue take.
I saw Potash on Twitter.
Potash took, retweeted it and took his shot. So I get it. It's the schedule. It's a ton of fun. It's May. It gets you excited for the season. I get the joy of this way. But also, we have no idea who's going to be healthy, what it's going to look like. Could be unbelievable at the end of the season. Could be terrible at the end of the season. We just don't know. Maybe Jordan Love got hurt in week 10 and you're not seeing him there. Oh, sweet that we waited till week 11 till we got the facts. Yeah. Maybe he gets hurt in week 1 and he misses 3 weeks. Oh, would have been and by the way, I like to beat the best too. But there's just a million ways the schedule could go. So I did this exercise. Ooh. And what I did is it's the best schedule ever and the worst schedule ever.
Love it.
Would you like to hear my best schedule ever or worst schedule first?
I think start with the best, right? Let's go with the best.
Let's go with the best.
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready? Let's all sit up in our Crystal, get ready for this. You too, Gary. All right. You ready? Mm-hmm. Here we go. Mm-hmm. This is the best schedule I've ever seen in the history of schedules. There is no better schedule. Opening up at home on the lakefront. Very beatable Titans team. Bring it on in here. Just what the doctor ordered. Caleb gets off. The Bears get off. City's going nuts. Beautiful day. 1-0 Bears. Then back it up. Sunday night football. On the road, marquee matchup, C.J. Stroud. The entire NFL is watching. Here we go. Winnable game against the Texans. Not the toughest Sunday night game, but everyone's going to be keyed in. Stroud, Caleb. And then, by the way, right after that, you're going to Indianapolis. You get to hang out with the Colts and Anthony Richardson. That's also a huge winnable game. So after 3 games, 3-0, worst case scenario, 2-1, you're feeling great. Okay. And then you come home, pair of noon kickoffs. You got the Rams. You got the Panthers. Can you say winnable game? LA's got to travel to Matthew Stafford at 10 a.m. He's going to hate that. And Carolina, who are they? 4-1 celebration, and everybody's getting on the flight now to London, going to Jax to play the Jags. Can you see the drinks flowing on the London flight? We're rolling at 4-1 here, and then the Jags in London, Bears fans everywhere. 5-1 at this point even feels conservative. The Bears should seriously be 6-0 after they take down the Jags. And then, by the way, you get to chill out. You got your bye week. You're coming back in. What's been going right? What's been going wrong? This is perfect. Let's see where we can flip on the up and get even better. And then, come out of the bye. You have extra time to prepare for Washington and Jaden Daniels. How do we take advantage of this rookie quarterback? And then you get a sweet trip to the desert in Arizona. You get to see your old friends Justin Jones and Bilal Nichols and Tyrese Tonga. Who forgets Tyrese Tonga? Again, 7-1, 6-2. We're living the dream. We're feeling great. And then 3 straight at home. New England, you stink. That's a lock. And then you get your first 2 division matchups. Could you feel any better going into Green Bay and Minnesota? I don't think you can. And I'll dial it down a little bit. Let's split it out. So you're 8-3, and then Turkey Day. Everyone's fired up to play on Turkey Day. Cole Kmet loves playing on Turkey Day, loves the Thursday thing, and you're playing Detroit. Huge motivation. That game it's a prime time, and everybody gets to watch the game at 11 in the morning. You enjoy the CHGO post-game show. Next thing you know, you're having this huge dinner late in the day, cocktails flowing every which way. That's amazing. I'm even putting that as a loss. You're sitting there at 8-4, but it's still a great thing. And now, extra bye time. Perfect for you. And it's great as you're leaning into San Francisco because you got to go cross-country. But since you have the extra time, no big deal. And then you're coming back but you get to play on Monday night, so going out west doesn't really matter to you because you get the Monday night situation, which is absolutely perfect. So let's call it 9-5, and then you got the quicker recovery, but you've got Detroit coming in. You're not, even though it's a Monday night game, you got the Lions. You are ready to do it. And again, as we talked about, Detroit playing in the cold, perfect scenario for the Bears. Absolutely perfect. So 10-5. Now the Seahawks are here. Their season's done. Sure, it sucks on Thursday night, but it sucks worse for them. They're coming cross country. You're at home. They don't want to play. That is a gimme, easy win on a Thursday night. You get through it, and then another mini bye. I'm saying the Packers game is not going to matter. Bagent's going to start. You already got your playoff seats locked up. So you just take full rest going into the playoffs. Or if you absolutely need it, you get the extra time to prep for the Packers. Dream scenario, 11-6, the perfect Bears schedule.
Well, now you've convinced me, Mark. This is perfectly done. The NFL creators, schedule creators are like, let's do this for the Bears in 2024. Let's get Caleb off to a hot start. And then by the time those tough matchups, those maybe, 3 games in 10 days come up, he'll be ready. The Bears will be ready. And Mark just told you why.
Yeah, I need a break before I do the worst case scenario. So can we get a pizza in here, Nick? Can we hook that up?
Yeah, pizza sounds good right now. And if I'm going to get pizza, I'm going to go to Salerno's. You should stop by Salerno's on tap, located at 1201 West Grand Avenue in Chicago's West Town, and enjoy their tavern-style pizza and ice-cold beers. Whether you're headed to the game, want to watch it live on the big screen TVs, or just watching from home, Salerno's has you covered. Go to salernospizza.com or call 312-666-3444. And look, mention CHGO and get half off of your pizza. Look, I didn't bring anything for lunch, just FYI for everybody. I think I know where I'm going to go. Just hit up some Salerno's, just hang out for a little bit. And then obviously be in a better mood because I made that business decision. And so you should do the same exact thing. And you can head to salernospizza.com or call 312-666-3444 for more information. Mention CHGO and get half off your pizza.
And make Ray Chevrolet your first draft pick for your new Chevy this May. Get yourself into a Trax. It's so good. It's so peaceful. So loving. Every time you walk into the tracks, it's like, what's up, Carm? How you feeling? Feeling good today? Feeling good that you're here. It's an amazing experience. Visit our partner to shop their Memorial Day sales event. It's going on all month long at Ray Chevy on Route 12 in Fox Lake and at raychevrolet.com. It's one of the top-selling Chevy dealers in the Midwest. You'll always be able to shop one of Chicago's largest Chevy inventories. You can find the perfect tailgate vehicle right now. $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2024 Chevy Silverado. Or, of course, you can lease the 2024 Chevy Trax for as little as $199 a month for 36 months. That is a bargain. You'll love it. And celebrate Memorial Day on your way with 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. That's
Elite.
a beautiful thing. And if you've heard of Ray Chevrolet, then you've heard of the Ray Price Promise, right? The Ray's Price Promise, their guarantee to make your next vehicle more affordable than ever. No price changing, no add-ons, no hidden fees ever. That means the incredible prices we're talking about right now. You can expect to see that when you stop in at Ray Chevy in-store or online. Shop the Memorial Day sales event all month long, visiting Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or raychevrolet.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. Together, let's drive. All right.
Let's do it, baby. What a great combo. Salerno's, Ray Chevy, you, me.
I mean, this is, we're living the dream.
Jordan
Steven,
Pippen.
thinking about Braggs, thinking about Hogue, thinking about Woot, thinking about Will, thinking about Lawrence, thinking about Kevin. I mean, really. All right. Let me get back on track here.
Well, now we're going to change the mood a little bit.
We
here
are.
too.
This is seriously, are we ready for this? I hate to do this to you, but here's the other side of it that we could do on the schedule. This is the worst schedule I've ever seen. Literally the worst schedule I've ever seen. How in the world do you ever get motivated to play week one with the Titans coming in? No one's going to care. The Titans, AFC South. It's going to be a sleepy Soldier Field. No one's watching. Caleb's like kind of bored. Where are the Packers? 0-1. Then you got to go right onto the road for 2 games against the AFC South. Super tough with C.J. Stroud. That's a nightmare. And then Anthony Richardson. Dude's going to run all over the Bears.
Be motivated.
I mean, seriously. I mean, best case right now is 1-2. You could be 0-3, and we're starting to feel like here we go again. And you come back home. Can we play a division game? Apparently we can't, but Matthew Stafford, he knows Soldier Field well. He knows the Bears well. True. He's thrown for over 700 yards against them in their last 2. You ain't beating him. You're 1-3. And then Carolina, again, you know, who cares? And you're kind of flustered. And here comes Bryce Young out of nowhere with a revamped Panther offensive line. And the Boo Birds are out, and you're 1-4. This is a disaster. And then now you got to go to London, and you're feeling terrible. Flying over there, the Jaguars are trying to make London their home.
Yeah, they're used to it.
1-5, season's freaking over as we go into the bye. And then after the bye, you got to go back on the road for 2 more. Against Washington, against Zona. You're lucky to win one of those. You're 2-6. Then you come home, fine. You get a patsy in New England. You're 3-6. But then here comes the division. Green Bay coming in at that point. I mean,
Bears can't beat Green Bay.
Bears can't beat Green Bay. Their dominance continues. Fire Flus chants ringing out at Soldier Field. You're 3-7. You follow it up with the upstart J.J. McCarthy in Minnesota. People are yelling at Kevin Warren. What's going? Yeah, a stadium up there. You don't have a stadium here. Minnesota's here. What the hell, Kevin Warren? You're 3-8. Now it's Turkey Day. You're turkey meat. You're done. You're 3-9. No way you're beating the Lions right after that gauntlet of 3 straight division games. San Francisco, long flight. Oof. Monday night.
That pass rush.
Nobody wants to play Monday night. You're 3-11. And then it's home with Detroit, who's finally, you know, the Lions are ready to prove everyone wrong. They can't play outdoors. They've been hearing it all season long. They come in with a purpose. 3-12. And then you got 2 meaningless games at the end of the year. And you actually beat the Seahawks. You get to 4-12. You hurt your draft position. And the Packers have already, their thing is clinched. Bajan goes nuts. And you win that game. And instead of drafting 6, you're drafted 10th. You're 5-12. This is the worst schedule of all time.
All right, let's take a breather, because I think when you combine the best schedule of all time take with the worst schedule of all time, I think we meet somewhere in the middle where this Bears schedule actually is, because there's no way in hell the Bears are only winning 4 games this year. And as optimistic as the most optimistic Bears fan, I don't think they're going to win 13 games this season either, and just go through this schedule flawlessly and everything's going to look peaches and roses, daisies, whatever you want to say. But I think ideally it's really is going to be, how do the Bears take advantage of the early schedule that will help prepare them for the second half of the season. Like that's how I kind of envision this going. And I think the Bears have the roster to take advantage of some of those teams that they're going to play early on. So when they get to division play, they'll be ready for it.
Well, and to that point, it does set up nicely, right? Let's get our feet wet. Let's win some games while we're doing that, Caleb and company. And then once you have built that confidence, here comes the teeth of the schedule, and let's go. I mean, honestly, when I do both of those exercises, the first one seems more probable.
Yeah, which one's more probable? It's definitely the first one.
It feels that way.
It just, again, it would have to be a disastrous scenario for the Bears to end up with less wins than they did last season. Like, to be completely honest, like we had this conversation on last night's show. How many people are honestly picking the Bears to win 7 games? Like, I don't think you're going to find that anywhere really, because this is a better roster. You expect the jump to happen with Caleb Williams and what they can do in the passing attack and the defense to take even another step. So when you're going through both of those exercises, Mark, it definitely does feel like the first optimistic Bears are going to run some teams over scenario seems more plausible.
Yeah, and it's also just to Braggs' point. Braggs in the stands joining us via the chat. You can turn the 3-game stretch late in the season that everyone's honing in on, which is downright ridiculous. Honestly, you're late in the year and you're getting jammed in here, but you can literally turn that into a positive.
Yeah.
If you look at it, look. You're going out to San Francisco on Sunday, but you do get the extra time coming back to play Minnesota, and then that starts that stretch. You've got Minnesota on Monday night. You're well rested. You're fired up. You're playing a lot, and then you got Detroit at home. And yeah, it's a little quicker turnaround, but you're playing the Lions. You know them. You're going to be super motivated, and then you get to be at home. Seattle is coming cross-country at the end of the season to play you on a Thursday night in the cold. You certainly can. Who wants to play that game less in Week 17? I got a hard time hearing an argument that it's not the Seahawks. So yeah, that sucks, but it ain't great for Seattle either. I would say it's objectively worse. So, and then when you get jammed in earlier in the season too. That is, I don't know. I look.
Well, I think too early on in the season, I feel like a lot of teams are still trying to figure themselves out. Like there's some teams still trying to find their identity. There's still teams trying to mesh with all the new players they've acquired from that past offseason. So if you're doing this tightening of games towards the second half, you're at that point more comfortable with the players you have around them. Hopefully, I mean, obviously injuries are going to happen. They're going to happen with every team. But if you're doing it the second half of the season, again, there's just more continuity. There's more familiarity with what, again, for a rookie quarterback like Caleb Williams is, to understand how to approach a week-to-week basis. This is going to be the first time he's going through all this stuff. I'd rather him have all those condensed games, I think, towards the end of the season where he's already had a bunch of games under his belt than towards the beginning. Because, again, you have more of the reps and knowing how to even approach it in the first place.
Right, and the other 3-game stretch, you're home with Green Bay. You're home with Minnesota. And, yeah, quick turnaround to Detroit, but they've done it before. It's a huge motivation game, and you get a mini bye coming out of it. There's the NFL is just going to do what the NFL does. Wednesdays and Thursdays and Sundays and Mondays. We're going to have Tuesday game. It's never going to stop. So this is NFL reality. And again, you could say this is the worst thing ever, or you could kind of look at if I'm Flus, that's how I'm kind of trying to play it. I'll tell you who's got a nightmare.
Who's got a nightmare, Mark?
So the shout out to you, Justin, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And maybe this plays well for Justin because it might help him get on the field. But the Steelers, they have their bye in Week 9.
Okay.
All right? This is the back end of their schedule. Week 10, they're on the road at Washington, which doesn't necessarily need to be mentioned. But let's go. But I did. At any rate. But from Week 11 on, home with Baltimore on a Sunday. Okay? Tough game. Ravens, one of the favorites in the AFC. Then Thursday night on the road at Cleveland.
Okay.
Division game, tough game. After that, on the road at Cincinnati. Another tough game. What comes after that? Oh, it's Cleveland again at home.
Wow, they are quick turnaround.
They are smack dab in the division. Can we get a breather here and get out of the division and just reset? Sure, we can. But, you're playing at the Eagles on a Sunday in December. Jeez. That is a tough-ass game. Where do you go from Philly? You go to Baltimore. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Okay, that's on a Saturday, by the way. You played the Eagles on Sunday, December 15th. You're playing at the Ravens on Saturday. Why are you playing on Saturday? Because you're playing Christmas Day against the Chiefs.
Oh, my God.
That is freaking brutal.
Wow.
Brutal. And then after that, you wrap up, big breather, but you have to play the Bengals at home to wrap up the season. That stretch that's got to be the hardest stretch that anybody has in the NFL, which, by the way, Russell Wilson, if he's still going at that point, probably dies somewhere in there. and Justin gets on the field, and he can.
But what a situation.
But it's going to be super tough.
God, it's interesting because it's very similar to what the Bears are doing with the division game. They both start in Week 11 and then end the season with all those division games, have the 2 games that are non-division in that sequence there. But Chiefs and Eagles, if you're Pittsburgh and you're looking at the back half, you hope whatever the quarterback situation, however it plays out, is figured out. But that is a gauntlet of teams, and that's a tough division. And then the Chiefs. And then the Chiefs are in their realm.
2 games with Cleveland, 2 games with Cincinnati, 2 games with Baltimore, the Chiefs and Eagles. 8 games. With Saturday night, Christmas Day, and a Thursday night game.
That is the toughest stretch of any schedule in schedule history.
I mean, seriously, that is a level of death that I
do your thing, Justin Fields.
You got this, QB1.
Well, let me put it on you guys then. Does Justin Fields end up getting 51% of the snaps this season or more?
I think that's a great question, man. Let's hope he does.
Well, do we think that Russell Wilson's going to struggle that much or get hurt in the first portion when that's the back end? Like, I mean, I feel like if that's what Pittsburgh's ending with, they're not going to cruise through the first half of the season. But I think it's going to be tough to get that 51%. So we'll see how that all plays out. Before we close out or get to the later portion of the show, I got to tell everybody, Mark, about ComEd, and it's getting easier for businesses to switch to electric vehicles. That's something we can all get behind for the health of the planet and for the well-being for all of us who share it.
That's exactly right, Nick. The electric grid is evolving to meet your cleaner energy needs as we all move with confidence towards an electric tomorrow. Whether you have one delivery van or a whole fleet of shipping trucks, ComEd can help guide you to make the changes that make sense.
So, Mark, what should business owners do?
Well, they should get going right now and go to ComEd.com/clean to learn more about the resources, fleet rebates, and infrastructure incentives available to help businesses go electric. If you own a business, don't wait. Start making your plan today to switch to electric vehicles. It's good for business. It's good for the planet. Good for all of us. Go to ComEd.com/clean.
Mark, did you say ComEd.com/clean?
You bet you're sweet. Going to see Caitlin Clark, Nicholas Moreano tonight alongside Stephanie in Indianapolis. Yes, go now and see how going electric connects us to a better way of doing business and a better future for generations to come.
Go check out ComEd, and then I want everybody to check out Circa Sportsbook. They have the tight money line splits, the low hold model. Games will strive to be a -110 split on the Circa Sports menu, unlike other sportsbooks, which may use a -115 or even -120 splits. Circa Sports keeps as little money as possible on large market bets, especially compared to those other books. And look, they have the high app limits, transparency. Circa Sports does not limit players based on their winnings. Every player has the same limits, unlike other books who do limit winning players. That's unfortunate. And look, Circa, they encourage bettors to download and explore all those other sports betting apps available. Compare the lines. You'll see what we're talking about. And Circa has that ultimate customer service. There are real people behind the Circa Sports brand who resolve issues in a timely fashion, unlike other books who use chatbots. All aspects of the app are being run by the same team that runs the main Circa Sportsbook at Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. And here's the most important part. Download the Circa Sports Illinois app at circasports.com/Illinois-app to sign up today. Also be on the lookout for Circa events, watch parties, and tailgates. They are with us for all the Cubs Friday 120 clubs, so go check them out. And if you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537. Text GAMB to 833-234 or visit areyoureallywinning.com.
All right, just I don't even know. Do we want to address Harrison Butker and the idiocy that is that dude and what the NFL should do with him?
Well, the Chargers put him in their schedule release video and put him in the kitchen cooking.
Yeah, there was a lot there in his commencement speech.
Yeah, there was.
You guys can check it out there. I don't want to go through the show and not mention what's making big NFL news is his misogynistic comments at Benedictine College as he gave some weird ass commencement speech and but that dude running into the kicker. I mean, I don't know if I'm the NFL, 15 yards for the dude that did it. So that would not that I want to be here for violence, but that is have
a target on his back.
That is upsetting. But on the fun side, what do we think of the Bears schedule release video? Because I'm going to be honest, it went a little bit over my head. I didn't quite get some of it. How did you digest Bears social media? Great effort. I loved the outtakes video. It's cool to see them all hanging out.
Yeah.
I was into that. I loved the Caleb moment coming off with
the rookie season.
Yeah. Let's go.
So I think last year's was better when they did the Bear theme. And I didn't hate this one. They kind of had this Ferris Bueller and how Gary Ross put in 80s themed, going back to school type of video. I did like they put the end of beginning song. I think that's it's really popular right now where it's back in Chicago. And so that was pretty cool. I noticed the narrator, Jake Johnson. He was obviously narrating the piece, but he's also the same guy that is Peter Parker in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So that immediately, I'm like, wait. I know exactly who this is. So I appreciated that. But, I didn't hate it. But the Bears, I think last year's version of the schedule release was better.
I was wondering, who was going to step in as teacher extraordinaire.
You see Larry Mayer was in the video?
Larry Mayer, CHGOBears.com, doing great work as always. One of the more enjoyable people around. Getting to play some cameo in there was amazing. And they put the Bears. It's amazing to me, honestly, how much effort the entire NFL does on the schedule release.
Oh, I know. It's a thing.
You had me watch the Chargers, which was this whole animation deal. And by the way, Annie Agar, who's been on the show, she's a Packer fan, Lions fan. I'm sorry, Lions fan, right? She's a Lions fan. How'd she get in the video? Why not?
She's from. Isn't she based in Chicago?
Yeah, but
she was also. She got detention. Remember?
She did get detention.
Take that.
And I thought she did a great job acting it. But still, can we get a Bears fan in there? What about Carman? What about Nick? What about can you imagine Braggs in the schedule release video? That would have been the greatest moment of Braggs' life if he'd go.
Oh my gosh,
I nominate. Yeah. I officially nominate Gregory P. Allen Braggs for next year's schedule release video. He should be in there. Brick by brick, Kevin Warren, Ryan Poles, the Braggsy. Let's go. Let's get him in there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Rob.
She was in last year too. Okay, everyone's saying his last. Okay. Shockingly, Matthew Gregory, I don't remember last year. Oh, God.
The Titans, like we're talking about schedule release videos, the Titans kind of ran it back with the same concept they had last year, just asking people on the street, like, who these logos are. And the first one, obviously, the Titans are playing the Bears, and someone's like, "Oh, I love Joe Burrow. I love the Bengals." So that was just hilarious, just kind of seeing the, everyone kind of just messing up on the logos. Everyone knows who the Titans are in Nashville, but ask them about any other team, and they're like, I love the group of girls who are like, "That's the Cowboys. That's Dak Prescott." Like last year, it was the Colts. It's the Colts logo. So that was pretty good seeing the Titans just kind of do the same thing. It's still super hilarious.
You gotta lean into it.
Oh, for sure.
Sense of humor key in life. So look, Bears, congratulations. You're doing a lot of things correctly. You made people laugh on the schedule release. You made me not get it fully, which is probably an accomplishment. You sprayed to all fields. You did a nice job. Congratulations. It's interesting too. Like, if you told me that they were going to pick DJ Moore, coolest cat going, easy, relaxed, but I would not have guessed that would be the star of your video. Like, that's not the. I would have bet on Komet. Komet does a nice job, by the way, in his role. But it was an interesting choice.
Yeah, but DJ does have that kind of.
He's got that look.
He's got that look, but he's funny, man. Like, he can be funny when he wants to. So I bet when they approached him about this, I think he was all for it.
I
see it.
DJ Moore's made you laugh?
DJ, he's funny in that locker room. Everyone always points out, like, dude's goofy. I think Tyreek Stevenson described him that way. He's a character.
All right. I mean, I'm not trying to take any runs at DJ, who, again, great dude, great player, great leader, but comedian. I didn't have on my dance floor. Maybe I need to. I need to hang out a little bit more. You get to be there more than me.
That's true, just a little bit. But
he's like, this is more to me, like, and he was awesome with the combo. It's like an understated. The dude's just chill, and he. Super nice of him, too. He tried to help us get an interview last year. I'm a big fan.
Yeah,
big fan.
I forgot about that.
So, all right, Nick. We're here, man. What was your record again? 10-7? You sticking with it one day in?
I'm going to stick with it. Looking back at how my prediction came out, I would still stick with the 10, but I'd get there in a different way. Because, like, those runs that I had in there, like, there's going to be some kind of loss or even a victory that comes in to break up the streaks of victories and losses that I kind of have. So I would change up the approach. So if you're seeing this for the first time, like.
Which one? Where's the loss? Where's the win?
So, Seattle. I think talking through that one a little bit more, seeing that they have to come this way, even though it's the third game in 10 days, like, I could definitely see that being – a victory there. And then as I'm looking at losses that are wins that can potentially be a loss.
You're going to flip that Washington game, aren't you?
I'm almost like thinking about it a little bit, but yeah, so I think they still end up with 10, but I would have to, maybe once after training camp, once we kind of go through this exercise again, I want to see how different it is from obviously the schedule predictions that we had here. Anything for you that you're changing, or you're feeling good about what you did with 11?
No, they messed with me. If we pull up mine, I'll make a flip right now.
Because we originally had that 49ers-Cardinals game. And so
I mean, I do think when you lose week after week, the focus does change. So I got too long of a winning streak too. What would I flip? I would.
Man, good. I mean,
I don't know. I kind of like my schedule. I got 3 losses in a row: Detroit, San Francisco, Minnesota. So we're losing 3 of 5 to end the year. Yeah, I kind of like my schedule. I'm not switching anything. Let's go.
Okay.
I'll leave it alone.
That San Francisco game, man. Like, I know, I get it. San Francisco's good, very talented roster, have a good pass rush. I don't know. Could be a fun game for the Bears and 49ers.
Shout out, by the way, to our newest diehard, my Bo. Bo. Not B-O.
Bo Jackson.
Baeu. Because he's beautiful. Bodacious. Can go ballistic if things don't go his way. But also has a sense of being that makes you relax. When you're in Bo's presence, you could feel Bo's aura.
Bo Penix.
And no, he's not Bo Penix. He's Bo.
Or Michael Jordan.
And Chim, he has had a boner.
We were so close to a fully serious show.
Oh God!
We gotta get. It's 1 o'clock. I gotta get it in there.
Yeah, you got to get the boner in there.
Some call him Big Bo. Big time Bo.
What?
Greatest athlete of all time too. Damn right.
What the hell, Carm?
Could fire it from the warning track to home plate. And no pun intended. He can do the same when it really matters. That's my guy, Bo. Our one and only. Become a diehard. ALLCHGO.com. Get yourself a free t-shirt. Get yourself a discount on all our merch. Get yourself a discount on all our events. Get yourself into the Discord. I was hanging out there yesterday. I'm going to be in there today.
L-shaped Bo.
It's my guy, Bo. Welcome in, Bo. My favorite diehard of the day.
Brags.
Oh,
God.
All right. Well, have a great. You're going to see Caitlin Clark tonight.
Yeah. This will be the first time actually seeing Caitlin Clark play in person.
Shout out our friend Joe.
Yes, Joe got us, my girlfriend and I, tickets, so we'll be driving up to Indy
Joe.
right after this to go see Caitlin Clark do her thing. Let's
go.
go.
Which is absolutely huge. And hang on 1 second because I gotta pull something up.
Gotta pull something.
It is
not a muscle.
It is important. It is
for
real important.
It's so important that we are holding off closing out the show because we need to get this in here.
Yeah.
And
well, here.
Oh, we also have super chats too.
Let me just put on the T-shirt. Hey, our friends at Midtown, in motion for a movement, Mind Strong. They are having an event at the Midtown Bannockburn on Saturday, raising awareness about mental health, taking care of yourself, and just bringing attention overall to the headspace period. And I love going to Midtown and everything they provide, but the fact that they're doing something on the mental health side to hopefully get people right, suicide prevention, all those things is super beautiful and super awesome. So to all our friends over there, appreciate what you guys do day in and day out. Also appreciate what you're doing with Mind Strong. Check it out. You can come in. Everybody who comes in on Saturday, they're donating money for each participant. There's tennis classes, what's the tennis thing when you run around? Cardio tennis. Thank you very much, Carm. Okay. You love your tennis. So, at any rate, hit me up on the DMs if people want to come on out on Saturday to Midtown. I'll make sure you get on in there. Hopefully, we can get you in the class the whole thing. But it's going to be a great event.
That's awesome.
Mind Strong. Super chats on the way out here. How I commit your mother. That is aggressive, but appreciate you and your $5. As a Brit, I'm happy to see most games are not prime time. They are pain in the arse to watch over here because of time zones. See you in London. I commit your mother. We can't wait to see you.
Love that. That's awesome.
That's funny. And Philip, our guy Philip April, $5. If they choose Caleb to lead the video, the narrative would be he's too Hollywood and not focused on ball. Moore is a perfect choice. That's a good point, Philip. You couldn't have put him first, but could they? And honestly, they didn't. Who's the biggest personality on that team right now, on the Bears? That's not Caleb.
It probably is DJ.
which is why they chose him. So
Probably DJ.
I mean, fair enough. Nuku, good to see you, my brother. 199. Great show today, guys. Happy Friday Eve. Woo. And that's a good reminder, by the way. Since we did a double show on Wednesday, and since everybody's just going to be digesting the schedule, no show tomorrow. We apologize for the no noon show this Friday, but we are back at it on Monday. And, of course, if there's anything breaking, which according to Gary Ross per ESPN, Robert Tonyan is signed with the Vikings, so making his way around the division.
Yeah.
Huge. One of the bigger disappointments last year, actually, for me, was Robert Tonyan. For whatever reason, it did not click here, but now he's a Minnesota Viking to add on to their offense, which seems like a luxury for Minnesota.
Yeah.
But
see what he does over there.
The Tonyan.
The ton.
Ross actually makes a good point. Montez would have been a good choice. Montez has got that personality.
Oh, yeah.
Could have highlighted him, too. That would have been interesting.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
So, yeah. Torrey Taylor's too young, Ruby.
Next year.
Jaquan's maybe a little too weird. I don't know if he's quite ready for prime time in that role. That's at least how the Bears saw it. All right. We got to go. Steven, thanks for producing. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for all the chats. Have a great rest of your day. I'm back at 4 o'clock for the CHGO Sports Podcast with Kevin Kaduk. Nick, drive safe. Have a ton of fun. Tell Caitlin Clark I say hello.
I will. Thank you so much.
We'll see you Monday at noon on CHGO Bears.
We all silly like the mayor.